I did want to have a catchy title going to print, but hopefully by the end of today is no longer the best kept secret, and quite a few colleagues already have talked about NIHR. So I'd like to start by saying thank you to the organizers for the invitation and opportunity to speak about NIHR and what type of support we offer to the industry. And I've been also asked to talk about some of the funding available from NIHR and more broadly about the medtech funding landscape. I've put quite a few links into the presentation. There's a whole slide at the end of the presentation full of links and useful information. So although it's only a small slot, a taster slot, I hope the information here is useful. So to just give you a quick overview of what NIHR is and our vision and our mission is to improve the health and wealth of the nation through research. And we do that by distributing over £1 billion that we receive from the Department of Health and Social Care and goes into various parts of the NIHR. Roughly one third goes into infrastructure, and this is biomedical research centers, MICs, who have spoken today already, and other types of infrastructure, which I will go through in greater detail in the next slides. And roughly one third goes to CRN, Clinical Research Network, which is the delivery arm of NIHR and is embedded within the NHS to deliver trials. So if a company has funding and protocol in place, Clinical Research Network will help you deliver a study. But for many SMEs, it's not so straightforward. You might need help on writing a protocol, or you might need help with funding, and this is why we are here to help you do that. So we don't run speed dating, but we do a lot of matchmaking and helping companies understand what their needs are and who within the NIHR can help. And just a few stats on delivering trials within NIHR. We are responsible for 29% of all trials in Europe, and medtech is a great place to do trials in the UK. And as of last financial year, all 100% of NHS England trusts are research active. This slide has been presented in different ways today, so I'm going to run through it quickly. But NIHR can support the company in the evaluation stage of the technology. So we usually start from a prototype, and we don't fund, NIHR doesn't fund any animal research. We start with early phase clinical research, and we can help you all the way through to the adoption phase, where the baton is taken over by AHSNs, among other organizations, and the next speaker is from AHSN, which stands for Academic Health Science Network, and we'll talk more with you about it. We do love our acronyms. It is, as one of my colleagues said, is a letter soup, but I'll try to not use any acronyms, but explain all of them. And of course, we work closely with the different regulatory bodies and NICE along with the pathway. And it's been said a number of times today how important it is to engage with them early on, and we're happy to do that. And we work more widely with the UK research ecosystem, linking with the Department of Health, Department of International Trade, Office for Life Sciences, and a number of regional and local clusters. NIHR offers quite a varied package of help and support to the industry, but you can roughly put them into 6 different pillars. And there is a slide in the appendix, and the slides will be shared, which focus in more detail on patient samples and data, what type of data NIHR collates and is able to share with you. But if you map these 6 pillars again onto the innovation pathway, I would like to take the opportunity to explain who can help with what. So we've talked already about the MICs, and they've been presented here today, trauma MIC and surgical MIC earlier today. We can also help signpost you to STEP, which is Surgical Technology Evaluation Portal in collaboration with the Royal College of Surgeons. We fund 25,000 people with varied expertise and different therapeutic areas of interest, including musculoskeletal. Biomedical research centers are sitting at the interface between hospitals and universities, and they are slightly an earlier stage here. Clerks are more about applied research. PSTRCs focus more on patient safety. And again, although AHSNs are not part of NIHR, we are able to signpost and we work closely with them when you're interested in adoption and going to the market. So all of the expertise we can signpost you to the team I sit within is the Office for Clinical Research Infrastructure. We are able to signpost you throughout this. When it comes to trial management, there are 3 acronyms to remember here. I've already mentioned Clinical Research Network, which are all local within each region. There are clinical research facilities, which again cover all of the country, and RDS is Research Design Service, and they're able to help with grant applications or highlighting which applications would be relevant for which stage of the project. As I've said, there is more in the appendix of this presentation on data provision and patients, and I'll go through funding as well. You have seen this slide already today. MedTech and in vitro diagnostic cooperatives are definitely at the heart of the MedTech offer to the industry, and you've already heard about their expertise and what they do and how they do. And of course, many companies come to us with the question about health economics, and that's one of the many things that MIX can help you with. And now a very clear and easy to understand slide, which is the funding slide. Obviously, at earlier stages of research, there are charities and MRC and Innovate UK who can help. The Health Transfer Partnership, which has been mentioned by Lorna, which is one of the great ways to help companies from the Innovate UK side. And then there's quite a few NIHR programs that I've linked in the notes of this presentation as well. And just to kind of go briefly through all of them and give you a taster for what they do, NIHR I4I, which stands for Invention for Innovation program, one of the most famous awards they have is called Product Development Awards that are advertised twice a year. And the aim of that program is to bridge the gap within the Death Valley between early research and then later adoption and diffusion. And again, in the appendix, there are a few slides that go into more detail about I4I and what is not within the remit of the program. NIHR I4I Challenge Award happens annually, and there's different theme every year. One just closed in June. It was real-world evidence. So that was for devices which were market-ready, CE-marked, and in need of real-world evidence and generation. Together with MRC, we work on EME, which is Efficacy Mechanism Evaluation, and it's all about does this work. And the next one is HTA, Health Technology Assessment, to evaluate whether it's cost-effective, the intervention that you have. RFPB, as Research for Patient Benefit, has a very strong regional focus and stands out in that way. And I would also like to take the opportunity to highlight NHS England ITP, Innovation Technology, I think, payment, that's it. There are many, it could be partnership with many things, but it's Innovation Technology Payment, which launched in April last year, and it's a way to collect real-world evidence of your technology within NHS Trust, and it's 1-year funding to do that. And of course, you'll be aware of the different angel investors and venture capital out there. Obviously, all of these funding schemes have different timelines, different deadlines, etc. So I just wanted to highlight a few important dates which are kind of now up and coming. Within the SBRI healthcare, there are a few open competitions at the moment, which will close in mid-August, and they have a theme now around cardiovascular and integrated health. I4I Connect is a smaller pot of money from the I4I program, which is very much SME-centric, and vast majority of NIHR funding is collaborative. You need to, as an SME, collaborate with university and or NHS hospital, but I4I Connect is a starting pot of money where that is although is encouraged, is not compulsory. And it will launch in a few weeks' time, and the deadline for that is 11th of September. And interestingly, it's always good to look out for theme calls, and cannabis call has been very popular with a number of clients that come through the door. So they're always changing and addressing the unmet need and the hot topics. So just to summarize, our offer to you within NIHR, the offer we have is free service of signposting you to the right people, as long as you know what kind of help you would need. Of course, often it's the experts, health economic models, bespoke collaborations and funding, and wider UK infrastructure, as I've said. And all of that service is summarized in the MedTech Hub that NIHR has, which I've put, as I promised, a number of links here summarizing what kind of help NIHR provides to the industry, including the industry funding streams which are relevant for SMEs, where SME can be either a lead applicant, for which you need to be UK based because it is taxpayers' money, or a co-applicant with UK academic institution or hospital. And for industry, the last link here is an engagement form, an I4I pre-submission form, which has a few simple questions about your technology, what stage it's at, what's the problem you're trying to address, how is your technology going to address it, and it usually takes 10-15 minutes, and with that information we're able to identify and signpost you to the right people. And the I4I pre-submission form again has 5 questions to figure out whether you are within remit or outside the remit of I4I scheme, and a number of other useful funding opportunities I've listed here. Lorna already mentioned Sprint, which is from UK Space Agency, and using that technology for the benefit of patients. They have open calls regularly. SBRI already mentioned, have a cardiovascular call open right now, and Defence and Security Accelerator as well often have health-centered calls for technology readiness levels 2 to 7, for example, point-of-care devices, etc. And that's it.